So you want to know our biggest flexibility training secrets? Well, in today's video, we are going to discuss some of the big reasons why people aren't getting good results when training for flexibility. We're also going to reveal one key element to the training methodology that, if you don't know, will completely stifle your progress. All that and more coming up right after this. We are the gym that teaches people how to move instead of just exercise, because we believe that health is about performance, not just body image.
Hey everyone, in case we haven't met, my name is Rad Burmeister. This is my brother Yanni Burmeister, and we are the co-founders of Unity Gym and the co-creators of the Foundation Movement System, where we teach you how to nourish and move instead of diet and exercise. And how are you doing today, Yanni?
Mate, I'm feeling good.
Yeah, awesome.
Feeling good.
Yeah, good stuff.
Over the fact that I stuffed up with our email broadcast for our flash sale and no one got the email today, but we're going to rectify that.
For those of you, we've had a bunch of emails from people saying to us, we were expecting the flash sale to go live. Why didn't we get the email? And I neglected to show Yanni how to correctly turn an email from a draft into an email that is actually going to get sent out. So I blame myself for it, even though Yanni was the one that did the email. And that will be coming out to you all at 8 a.m. Pacific time tomorrow on Tuesday. We'll extend the timer. We'll allow it to go until Saturday instead of Friday. So you've still got 5 days to get any of our online programs at 50% discount. So big apologies to all of our viewers for that, but it is definitely coming out.
I said to Rad today, and any of you who watch this, you get the insight the other people miss out, that it's a blessing in disguise, because I wrote that email yesterday with a lot of passion and enthusiasm. I had been asked a couple of questions from some people online, and it spurred a real brain dump of passion. And when I read it in hindsight last night, I was like, ooh, that's probably a bit of a harsh way of...
It was brutal. It
was a brutal email. So it's given us a chance. The universe stepped in and prevented us from sending something out that could have offended a few people. So it's a good thing. Yeah.
So what we're going to talk about today, this is a really, really good topic for a lot of you. And all of the topics, whenever we talk about stuff on this show, we always have a think about the questions that we've been asked recently and what it is that you all, our viewers, want to know about. And this is without a doubt one of the hottest topics. That flexibility and mobility is without a doubt the thing that we get asked about the most. And then within flexibility and mobility, one of the things that people ask is, why am I not getting flexible? I stretch every day. Why is it that I'm not seeing results? And we're going to answer that for you today. And we're also going to go deeper and open up a little bit of Pandora's box here and talk about on a bigger scale, why do people not get results in any area, fat loss, building muscle, strength, overcoming an injury, whatever it is in their training. Why is it that people don't get results? So I'm excited about this. We're going to have some good stuff to talk about, but I'm going to kick it off with, and this is going to be a little bit different. We're not going to go on the gym floor today and demonstrate anything, because it's more about the theory and mindset. Now, the number one thing, I'm going to throw it straight in there, the number one reason as to why you're not getting flexible if you stretch every day is because you're doing it wrong. You don't understand the concept of how to stretch properly, and you're doing it wrong. Because it's the same with strength training. People say, I've been going to the gym for ages and nothing's changing. You're doing it wrong. You're not understanding what it is that you need to do. And this is where so many people get it wrong. We get a lot of people that say to us, we actually say no to people all the time in the gym and say, hey, I want to come in and do one personal training session with you and get a program and then do it on my own and come in monthly to get revisions. And we turn them down straight away. And the reason why we do is because Yanni and I have been doing this for long enough that we know, long enough if you don't know us, it's been 16 years that we've been professional trainers. And we know that doesn't get results. It's not about just having a program that's written for you that you then go and do and then come back and get it revised. It's about understanding how to perform all of the techniques properly and all of the different variables in a program. And if you're talking about a strength training program, you're talking about the time between sets, the tempo that you do your exercises at, the weight selection, the way that you set your shoulders when you're doing upper body exercises, all these different things. When it comes to flexibility, the number one thing that I want to talk about as to why people don't get results is because they either lack consistency, they don't train consistently enough, and if they do train consistently, it's because they go too hard. They push themselves to the point of pain. And this is something that we just see so often.
We just lost the internet?
Yeah, we just lost the internet.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Yeah. Stop. It's still recording, but the broadcast has ended.
All right, well, we'll just keep going and we'll
Fucking
post it
hell.
afterwards. Sorry, guys, for the live feed. If you are still with us.
Is it back, Richard?
No, once it gets interrupted, it's dead. It's
Really?
done, yeah.
Mm.
Oh, well, keep going.
Wow, what a shame. Guys, really sorry about this. We're trying to fix these internet problems that we've got, and we're moving around all this stuff, and I'm just not sure why this is happening. We've spoken to our internet service provider and tried many different things. Obviously, what we've tried recently isn't working, and we're going to have to try something else. So big apologies for that. So anyway, look, the thing that people suffer with is they don't understand that flexibility is something that you need to work at consistently, and you're looking for very, very small increments in improvement. And where people get it wrong is they do a stretch and they push themselves too far and they go to a point of pain. And when you go to a point of pain, what you do is you actually send a message to through the nervous system to tighten up and prevent you from becoming more flexible, to basically to protect itself from injury. So then you go back to your next stretching session the next day and your body has stiffened up more, and often you can't go beyond where you stretched the day before. And that is, in a nutshell, that's the big thing that people are suffering with.
Yeah.
So have you got, do you want me to
No,
keep going?
no,
Yep.
keep going, yeah.
So the what people need to understand is the way that you get flexible is you're taking your body to its full range of motion. The muscle spindles, which are a part of the nervous system, they sense that you're going too far, send a message back to the brain. The brain sends a message back through the nervous system to contract the muscle and prevent a potential injury. And what you're doing is you're basically, over time, you're decreasing the muscle spindle sensitivity to be able to kick in and detect that, so that the next time you come back, when you stretch to the same point where the muscle spindles detected this, they don't detect it now. They've been desensitized, and you can go a little bit further before they detect that end range of motion. And what happens is that when you go to the point of pain, you actually decrease the ability for the muscle spindles to desensitize to the stretch. So you're working against yourself there. And it's something that so many people get wrong because they want the results, and they don't understand what it is that they're trying to feel. So they go to this point of what you'd call pain, but you can handle it. It's not like it's not like you've gone and you've done an injury, but you're sitting there going, oh, this stretch hurts, and then they stop and they go, oh. And I reckon, like, my personal opinion is why so many people get that wrong is because that's actually what you go for when you do weightlifting and strength training. Like that
You're
is
going for it's a feedback loop that you're looking for when you train, which is, and we go through this with our strength training clients. You know that they're always trying to push to failure.
Yeah, that's right.
And there's a time and place for that, certainly, and the intensity of your workout is a variable that you need to use as an overloading parameter, but it's not just that's how you do it, you know, all the time. And I think the big thing that what you've said there, which people need to understand, and I've talked about this like in almost every video that we do on strength and flexibility, but something that there's a very big disconnect around is that people don't really understand, and I can say this because I know that I didn't really understand this for many years, that there is so much more going on in your body when you're exercising than just the muscle contractions themselves or just the heart pumping itself. The myriad of neurological adaptations that are occurring are far greater and far larger and a broader spectrum than what's happening on a muscular level. And and you tipped into that a little bit with the feedback loop, where you stretch to a point where the body senses a risk of injury, sends feedback from the muscle spindle to the central nervous system to say stop, otherwise you might sustain an injury, and then that feedback loop is actually what you're exercising. You're exercising the ability to go further with a delayed response so that you in turn increase your active range of motion, your available range of motion. And these physiological adaptations in the nervous system are occurring in every type of training that you do. And this is where things like repetition and time come into play, because the only thing that adapts the nervous system, I mean, that's not true. Intensity certainly causes adaptation too, but is the biggest one is really time.
It's repetition.
Is repetition
It's
and
repetition,
time, you know?
And this is what people get. So with stretching, it is, in my opinion, it's one of the number one reasons as to why people aren't getting more flexible. So, you know, you can tie that into the reason why we created the 18-minute stretching routine and the loaded mobility routine that you get for free with it, because we wanted to create a circuit, a workout that you can do very easily daily that hits all the major movements and the major muscle groups in the body, so that without having to think about what it is that you're going to stretch, you just do this routine and you do it over and over and over, but you try to constantly learn this, how to manipulate this feedback loop, rather than trying to do something different every day, or rather than having to think about what it is that you're going to do every day, which adds a whole nother layer of complexity and something that you have to think about and put effort into. And that's not what you want with your training. You want your training to be as easy and simple as possible for you, so that you can just focus on the elements of the training that are going to deliver the results for you. And then it's just a matter of doing it consistently to produce a result. And we can tie that into what the secondary message of this show is, which is that goes for everything with your training. You need to be able to find a routine, something that you can do daily that's going to tick all of the boxes of what you need. And our whole program, the Foundation Movement System, we teach a balance between strength and flexibility whilst still making people athletic, which is something that's very, very rare in gym programs these days. And we know that because of the amount of people that come to us that say, I searched for a gym that teaches flexibility and strength in Sydney, and you guys were the only ones that I could find. So I don't know what it's like around the rest of the world, but you know, our online tribe members who are doing our program, they tell us that it's very unique. And it is something that we've found a way to create this balance in. And where so many people get it wrong, in our opinion, is that people try to compartmentalize a specific area of their body or an aspect of health and fitness that they want to work on. Like, it could be, I just want to rehabilitate an injury. Like, we've had so many people come through this door and they say, look, all I'm interested in is losing 10 kilos of fat. That's all I want to do. Or, no, look, I've just got a really bad back and I just want to fix my lower back. It's the only thing I want to do. And the problem is that we would call all of these things a symptom of a body that's out of balance. You know, like having a bad back is a symptom of a much larger problem. And that symptom, you can fix that symptom, but then the next thing will show up. The next thing, you're going to get patellofemoral syndrome. You know, you're going to get, your shoulder's going to go out. You're going to start developing neck pain. Or maybe you're overweight and you'll lose the 10 or 15 kilos. But the next thing that you're going to be suffering with is bloating and irritable bowel syndrome. Because
this is the really big thing from today's message, and something that I want to really drive home. It's the one, if you take home one key aspect of this discussion, this is it. I want you all to listen really hard, because the concept of compartmentalizing your body and compartmentalizing your training is a real issue. Now, we teach people to focus on like one skill with calisthenics, you know. So in essence, that's compartmentalizing the training. Like, if you want to unlock a handstand, then double down on the handstand and do that regularly. But our handstand masterclass doesn't just teach handstands. It trains the entire body, because you can't train like that, you know. Of course, there's going to be a little bit of a lopsided focus, because the key point, the skill training every day is on handstands. But we still train the body in balance, and we take a holistic approach to it. But that carries over to life in general. And I want to double down on what Rad just mentioned there, like the weight loss. We do get a lot of people who, I had an email just yesterday or the day before from someone asking to help them lose 30 kilos or 30 pounds, and which is about 15 or so kilos. And this is a really big problem, because, you know, when we train someone for weight loss, we encourage them to lift a lot of weights and do a lot of strength training, because part of the problem with someone who's overweight is that their metabolism is stuffed. and they need to, really get their body strong. They need to really get themselves, their metabolic systems functioning properly again. They need to get more insulin sensitive in many cases because they've had a really unbalanced lifestyle. And there's a whole bunch. They need to untether themselves from food so much because they have problems and a bad relationship with food. I wrote an article yesterday, which I'm going to probably publish today or tomorrow about this. It's never just one thing, the clinical diagnosis is that your energy balance is out of whack and you're taking in too many calories and expending too little. It's very simple. Eat less and move more and the world will be lean and ripped. It's bullshit. Why aren't we lean and ripped then if it's that simple, The problem is that there's a lot of things. You might have a job that's just you're martyring yourself for with high levels of stress, long hours, and then you're self-medicating with alcohol and junk food to get you through the day. You might have an inner circle of influence that just doesn't give a crap about health and you're misaligned. Your priorities and your values are totally misaligned and you want to get healthy and lose weight, but your mates are dragging you out to the pub every other day and to McDonald's and whatever. There's all these macro elements that are occurring that are influencing you, And I had a client recently who's one of my only one-on-one clients who went to a health retreat, and we had this discussion yesterday about how amazingly easy it was not to drink alcohol, not to eat junk food. He practically went vegetarian for a week, someone who's never been vegetarian before. All these things that he would never do in his normal life. And he found it so easy for 10 days and he's come out and he's like firing on all cylinders. He's not drinking and he's quit alcohol, he's quit coffee, all these things. He had to remove himself from his environment, which goes to show you, and I've experienced this, I'm sure you have, and I'm sure our viewers have, your environment has such a big impact on you. And if you come in the door saying to us that you need to lose 15 kilos, 9 times out of 10, we're going to say no, find another gym, because when we assess your lifestyle, there are so many elements there that are impacting you that we know that if we take your money, it's going to be a complete waste of your time, our time, and your money, because you're not ready to give up or change those environmental factors. Now, I know that I'm speaking with passion and I'm coming at this pretty hard, but this is the truth, guys. It's not just one thing that causes your problem. It's not just the lift that you did the other day that threw your back out. It's a lot of things, and your lifestyle, like Rad said, is out of balance, and you've got to start looking at it from more of a macro standpoint. Don't compartmentalize it and think, okay, I just need to focus on fixing my back, or I just need to focus on losing 10 kilos. You need to get everything in balance. And it's a big thing to stomach. It's hard, but you got to start looking at it from a more macro standpoint and stop compartmentalizing everything. Sorry, I really
no. That's
dived in
that's
there.
pretty much it. I mean, that's what we were.
And that's why we didn't send the email yesterday,
Yeah.
because it came at you like that.
Yeah. No, look, that's it, guys. That's Yanni's about to send, and we're going to send an email at 8 a.m. Pacific time on Tuesday morning that will explain this really well. And I really hope you guys read it, because this is honest to God. This is the biggest reason why people are failing with any goal, with wanting to get more flexible, wanting to lose weight, wanting to build strength, wanting to overcome an injury. It really is, and I'm not going to go over it again. Yanni just explained it all, but that's pretty much all we got time for anyway today, Yanni. I think we got the message across there. So I hope that helped you. I really do. And for some people, this is too much to hear. Some people hear this stuff and they go, "Oh, that's a load of rubbish. I'm not what a load of crap." But the truth is, that's not taking extreme ownership for what's going on in your life. Yeah. For other people, they hear this and they go, "Oh my God, wow, this is a revelation." And that's what.
And the worst thing is, guys, that the fitness industry, our peers, are going to take your money and they're going to line you up like bloody, I don't know, something that they don't care too much about, and sell you a 12-week transformation or a 6-week an 8-week challenge that's just about losing that 10 kilos that you want to lose. There's plenty of trainers out there that will just take your money and do it and keep you on that perpetual merry-go-round of needing to lose that 10 kilos. And it sucks. It really does suck. But you need to start looking at it more long-term and more on a macro and get yourself in balance so that you're not needing someone to save you like that. You're not needing the 12-week transformation anymore. You're not needing the 8-week challenge, whatever it is that people are peddling these days.
Absolutely.
Anyway,
All right, guys,
take care.
have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Health is about performance, not just body image.
You better be willing to accept what you're going to have to do to get there.
We'll start focusing on movement goals, strength goals, flexibility goals.
When you nail that skill, it's there forever.
The body image goal doesn't get you that
It's the
far.
consistency and frequency that's going to get you there. It's not the intensity.
There's no shortcuts to mastery and movement. Destination doesn't change overnight, but your direction will.
The gym is not the place to beat up the body that you hate. It's the place to build the body that you love.
We are the gym that teaches people how to move instead of just exercise, because we believe that health is about performance, not just body image.